Hey everyone, it's Philip. I just wanted to make a little short comparison video comparing the differences between a couple of the most popular marine watches that Stowa offers, as well as, like the Hamilton Navy Pioneer Automatic. A lot of people are tend to, they're interested in understanding how these differ from each other, both in size, the little nuances like the dial, the reflection of the dial, the color light that it gives off, the feel of the hand winding movement on a few of these. So it seems like a lot of people are interested, and I don't think I've seen a lot of media where people actually have all of these watches. So I own all of these. I'm a little bit of a marine watch nut. Um, but going from left to right, what we have here is the Hamilton Navy Pioneer Automatic, the Stowa Marine 40 millimeter automatic. This is the newer Stowa Marine Original 36 millimeter hand wound. This is the Stowa Original 41 millimeter with a silver dial. And this is the Antea KS. So it's not a marine watch, but it has a very distinct size and profile, so it's worthy of comparing, I think. So when you look at these watches, aesthetically, a lot of them are very similar. They take very similar cues from each other. They're based off of the same origin of marine chronometer style. But when you start to look at some of these characteristics within the watches, you can easily see how some of the things like the dial material, what goes into the, in some cases, the silver dial, and how that reflects the light differently than more of the traditional kind of glossy enamel dial look. So real quick, this Hamilton does have kind of a silver style dial where it's not glossy by any means, but it does reflect different artifacts of light when it hits it. These two Stowas right here are they definitely take more of the traditional kind of enameled look, although they're not enamel. You can see that they easily reflect light. I actually think it looks really attractive. You can see that the print on all of these dials does look a little glossy because Stowa does hand print all of the dials. Here's the 41 millimeter Marine Auto. The Marine hand wound, the Marine Original. This is a silver dial as well. What I will say is that if you compare the kind of the complexity of the reflection of the light, the Hamilton actually has a little bit more of different kinds of artifacts that reflect in light versus the 41 millimeter Marine Original silver sterling silver dial. It's definitely also a lot more subdued in its look. And then this is the Antea KS, which also has a silver dial. I don't believe this is a sterling silver dial, but it's just something that's kind of worthy of looking at as well. So when you kind of go down low, and apologies for the bad camera angle, you can get a sense of kind of how thin these cases are relative to each other. So the thickest, of course, is going to be the Marine 41 millimeter Original that uses a unitos movement. That's pocket watch movement essentially. And then short, second place is the Hamilton, followed by the Stowa Marine 40 millimeter. So these are both automatic movements, so they have rotors. And then you have the 36 millimeter Marine Original, and then the Antea KS. So the Antea and the Stowa 36 both use the exact same movement. They're both hand wound movements. And they have the thinnest profile by far. So let's flip these over real quick, and I'll kind of compare the movement themselves and some of the aesthetic of the movement. Sorry, I'm doing this with one hand. So, without even digging in real quick, you can kind of clearly see where Stowa, I would say, gets a lot of its praise, which is the finishing of the quality of the movements it uses and the finishing. Just about all the movements you get are going to be very beautifully finished. If you get the top movement with the Marine Auto, you can also get the Geneva striping and the blued screws. But the Marine 36 Original, the 41 millimeter Marine Original, and the Antea all have very intricate finishing that just looks super attractive. The Hamilton does have a display case back, but it doesn't have any special striping or, blued screws or anything like that. Still not a bad watch at all considering the price.